Hello, Todd Clemens, Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here's your weekly market report. Today is Wednesday. We had sales Monday and Tuesday. Monday was pretty good volume-wise in spite of the rain, but it kept raining all day, all night. And Tuesday, people were calling saying we can't get to our cattle, or we're having to use tractors to hook to the trucks and trailers to get them out into the hard road. So it was just crazy. And people are saying they had 3 inches of rain 2 days ago, and then they got another 3 inches of rain yesterday. And I looked up there on the Kissimmee River, and we got another 3 inches of rain yesterday. So everybody's just drowning in water. But it's that time of year. It's right here in the middle of September. It's hot, muggy, wet. And those are the conditions we're all working in. And the guys under the barn were drenched. Muddy, nasty. It's Florida. It's South Florida, and that's what we get down here this time of the year, and we're all pretty used to it, but we're really looking forward to a little bit of cool snap and some fall weather. Speaking of which, today is the fall equinox. I think at 3:41 this afternoon. The day and night times will be equal, and starting tomorrow the days will be shorter than the nights. That's your scientific lesson of the weather for the day. But back to the market report. The run was slower yesterday. Cattle volume numbers were lower. I don't think we even had 1,200, maybe a little over 1,200 head yesterday. But compared to last year, looking back last year, we had 1,240 head last year. So we're kind of on track, and I believe we've sold more cattle up to this time this year than we did last year by a considerable amount. I don't really know what that's due to, but seems to be a lot of cattle out there, and we're selling a lot of cows still. A lot of cows are coming to town. A lot of slaughter cows is putting a lot of pressure on the cow market, and it definitely was lower this week. I know yesterday was just 1,200 head. We had maybe 400 head of cows and probably another 50 head of bulls, which was part of that total. So a big percentage of slaughter animals, and cows and bulls were off by, I would say, the market report called it 4 to 8 lower. That's pretty accurate. Most of the cows were bringing in the upper 50s, 55 to 58. A few better end cows were bringing in the low 60s. So it was definitely a little bit lower than it was last week. On the calf market, it also was down, and we anticipated that would happen with all these cattle running all over everywhere, and just so many cattle out there. These prices are dropping off. It's September. The guys out west are farming. They're planting their grass, and there's not a lot of demand right now for these calves, especially these balding calves right off their mamas coming in here. Not a big demand for them right now this time of year. Weaned cattle and bigger cattle are holding their value pretty good. Jack Johnson Jr. from Immokalee had LaBelle Immokalee had a lot of good Beefmaster steer calves in here. They were heavy. They were 700 to 800 pound good big steers, and they were bringing up there in the 120s to 130. And he was very happy with that, and I would have been too. But the lighter weight calves were definitely cheaper. Remember back a few weeks ago, those 3-weight calves were bringing around $2. Remember there, some 350 pound calves were bringing $2, and the 4-weight calves were bringing $180 to $190. Those 3-weight calves have dropped off now to about $170 or $80, and the 4-weight calves more like $160 to $70. And the 5-weight steer calves on the very front end of those calves are pushing maybe $150 at most. And heifer calves seem to be backed off a little bit more. There's a bigger spread between the steer and heifer prices. And so on the national front, if you look at the box beef cutouts and retail prices, actually box beef had been coming down a little bit, but it had another rally, and they've added more dollars onto the box beef prices, which just goes against the grain of what it's supposed to be this time of year. One of the major plants was closing to do some maintenance, cleaning on their plant facilities, which will cut down on the kill for the week. And these packers they somehow or another, they just keep finding a way to sell that meat at a higher price, and the cash price on these fat cattle coming out of the feedlots hasn't gained a dollar. I mean, they're still trading those cattle for around 124, 125. We were hoping by now we'd have them up to 130 or better, but it hasn't happened. And just every time you turn around, we just can't get any more leverage in the feedlots, and the packers are holding all the cards there. And it's all got to do with captive supply. They're buying up these cattle and they're storing them so that when they have to jump out there and give more, if they were having to buy cattle on a cash negotiated price, they just don't have to. They just go call the feedlot that they've got a contract on and go get their captive supply, and they're putting pressure on the cash market. And we've been telling you that we think this is a bottleneck, and we're going to get through the big supply. By the end of the year, we should be more current, and then by the first quarter of next year, things should be turning around. On the board, the April fats are still at 135. They were pushing 140 there for a while, and that's considerably better and a little bit optimistic for this time of year in September for those April fats to be that high. And we're hoping that that'll stay up there, but still it won't matter to the producer down here at this end if we can't get part of that trickle down from the high demand for beef. And packers are making now $1,000 a head, and it's just still not trickling down to us, and we hope something will happen there. But anyway, we've got another couple weeks of September to get through, and October we have our bull sales coming up almost every Friday. I think October the 8th is the first Friday, but every Friday from October the 8th on through the rest of the month there will be a bull sale, and they start at 1 o'clock here at Okeechobee Livestock Market. The first one up is Deer Valley Farms, Angus bulls, and then Little Creek and Friends, Brangus bull sale would be the week after that, and then we have the Charolais bull sale week after that, and then the last sale in October there will be the Sutphen multi-breed sale the last weekend there in October. So mark your calendars, and if you're needing some bulls, come see us and we'll have some good ones for you. So we have some top prices this week. Todd Pierce from Okeechobee had a little calf that weighed 215 pounds that brought $2, bought by DNS. And for the high cow price of the week was JCM Cattle from LaBelle. He had a 1,100 pound cow that brought $70 a pound, bought by Florida Beef. That's your market report. Thank you.